Have you ever had that feeling like you're playing a part? You know, like the identity you show the world is something you've kind of built piece by piece, just hoping it all holds together? Well, today we are going on a really profound journey together. We're talking about the move from that constructed self to an authentic, solid, crystallized identity. This is all about unlocking the real power of your voice, right from the inside out. So let's dive in and see how we can start this incredible transformation. You know, it all begins with this one powerful idea. For most of us, for most of our lives, our identity isn't some deep, unchangeable truth about us. It's a pattern, just a habit. It's a loop that we run over and over and over again. So it's not who we inherently are, but it's what we've learned to do. And you know what's so beautiful about that? If it's just a pattern, it means we can understand it, and it means we can absolutely transform it. All right, so if we're going to transform that pattern, we first have to get really honest about how it was built in the first place. Let's start with the identity most of us are walking around with, the one we've all so carefully constructed. Just think about it for a second. We learn how to be from our family, our culture, our friends. Then, what do? We repeat those behaviors, those ways of talking, those beliefs, and then, when the world gives us a little nod of approval or acceptance, boom, that pattern gets locked in. And that, right there, becomes our constructed self. It's built almost completely from the outside in.
Okay, so look at this incredible difference. The constructed self, it's built with all these external bricks, right? Praise, what other people think, what we've been taught. But the crystallized self, oh, that is formed from deep within. It's founded on the internal work of truly seeing, fully feeling, and deeply understanding our own experience. This is the big shift from an identity built on what other people see to one built on profound self-completion.
So, how in the world do we make that shift? How do we get there? Well, the path from that fragile, constructed identity to something that is truly solid and stable, it's a process of completion.
This right here is the absolute heart of it all. The magic word is completion. When we fully, and I mean fully, process our life experiences, our identity stops being this thing we have to constantly manage and hold together with effort. It just solidifies. It crystallizes into our true form, not something we're always trying to build and rebuild.
So what does this completion thing actually look like? Well, it's really a journey through 4 essential stages. First, we have to be willing to see our experiences fully without flinching or turning away. Next, we have to allow ourselves to feel them completely, to let the grief or the joy just wash through us without trying to numb it or distract ourselves. From that place, we can begin to understand it all clearly, to find the wisdom inside. And finally, we resolve it entirely, so there's no unstable energy left rattling around inside us. And when you move through that process, what emerges on the other side isn't just a new and improved identity, it is a fundamentally new way of being in the world. This is the incredible power of the crystallized self. Now, this is so crucial. The change is effortless. You're not waking up in the morning trying to remember how to be this new person. You're not monitoring your behavior or trying to keep up a facade. The change is so deep, so fundamental, that it's simply who you are now. There's no more trying, there is only being. Can you just imagine the freedom in this? A crystallized identity isn't looking around for a thumbs up, because it's not built on what other people think. It's built on that deep internal feeling of completion. Your worth isn't up for a vote because you've already settled it inside yourself. And because there's nothing unstable or unresolved left inside you, there's nothing that feels threatened by someone else's opinion or their challenge. That constant need to defend yourself, it just dissolves. You are secure in who you are, right down to your core. Oh, this is that beautiful, quiet confidence that comes from deep consistency. Your actions, your words, your energy, they all sing the same song. People get who you are just by being around you, not because you have to hand them a resume or explain yourself. Now, this massive internal shift doesn't just stay locked away inside. Of course not. It radiates outward, completely changing how you show up in the world and transforming your very presence. This is where your voice, your actual voice, and your words gain a totally new kind of resonance. It's not about being clever or speaking louder. It's about the solid, whole, completed self that is standing behind every single word you speak. That's where the real weight comes from. And your actions change too. They become clean. And what that means is they just spring from this place of total clarity. There's no inner debate,
No second guessing, no tug of war holding you back. You decide and you act, with your whole being in alignment. It is integrity in motion. And this is the most beautiful outcome of this entire journey. Because when you become this whole and this clear, a new role just naturally emerges from you. The teacher is born. You see, before, we might have spoken to get something back, right? To get attention or approval or validation. Our words kind of had an agenda. There was a neediness attached to them. But now you speak from a place of fullness, from completion. It's not about taking anymore. It's about sharing what you know to be true. It's an offering. And that shift from needing to sharing is the true source of all authentic authority and leadership. So let's just take a moment and celebrate this final state of being, because this isn't some far-off mystical goal that's impossible to reach. At its heart, it is a return to your most natural state. Just let that sink in for a moment. It's a state of profound presence. When you are no longer being pulled backwards by old wounds or old stories, all of your energy is available for you right here, right now. That is completion. This is who you become. You are clear because there's no inner noise or distortion. You are steady because you are anchored in your own truth. And you are whole because nothing is missing and nothing is broken. It is a state of beautiful, powerful clarity. And so, this entire journey brings us to one final, empowering question. Once you have done this work, once you have arrived in this place of wholeness, and your voice is finally, truly your own, what truth will you carry out into the world? What will you choose to share?